July 1st, and the first prompt. This one that was put forth to the people taking part in the World Anvil 2018 Summer Camp event was to describe or introduce the reader about a part of your geography in your world. So I decided to take up an interesting bit of forest that just came to me. So all of this, I should mention, is taking place in my personal homebrew campaign called Stellaire. And this forest had captured my mind for quite a bit, and I actually was able to sit down and write it. It's gone through several titles, but I've settled on The Bloated Forest. Now, the Bloated Forest, that is a strange, very unnatural-looking forest on the southern peninsula of the continent of Rivnik, the far, far south. The forest floor is always thick with a layer of mud to it, and is fairly flat throughout the woods. There's not a whole lot of hill features or valleys or ravines or anything. But what draws interest are the actual trees. Not so much the general fauna. There's not much more. There's some ground growth of weeds and a little bit of grass, but it's so muddy and thick that there's not really much else that grows besides the trees. Now these trees, that's what's interesting. The trees are all gnarled and knobby and have these big bulges that kind of look like boils growing on the trees. As you're walking through the forest, there's always this constant hushed whisper of water flowing through and the sound of wood creaking and groaning. These trees are actually full to the brim with water. Just warm, hot water that has collected in these boil-like bulges in the trees and has created this appearance. The branches have twisted it off to the left, right, upside down, just in very weird ways because of the odd angles these growths cause the trees to move in. Now, no one knows why in this world for certain the trees grow like this. They're called bulba trees, and they really are only found in this neck of the woods. Joke intended, unfortunately. Bad Michael. But no one knows why they grow like this. They do know, however, that it is very dangerous to try to harvest any wood from these trees, or to try to get inside and see what's going on, for a very simple reason. Any sort of breaking of the bark, whether it be with an axe or a python and hammer or any sort of things like that, if you go like a half an inch, hold on, I got a ruler here, gotta be accurate, half an inch into the bark, a spray of steaming water steaming water will spray out and burn you. Now, if you are unfortunate enough to, say, break into one of the bulges, then an explosion of steamy hot wood and shrapnel will just be shot everywhere. It's because that the main pressure that is gathered in these trees are collected inside these bulges, and breaking that will basically cause an explosion. Because of this, the forest has remained pretty untouched over the years. No one could really harvest it safely, and the bulba trees' root systems are too tangled up and concentrated in order for farmers to take advantage of the fertile soil. Now, that's not to say people haven't tried just farming around it. However, the trees have a habit of spontaneously exploding with no precursor onto, well, what's going to happen. So, yeah, this forest is just kind of an oddity, a creepy oddity. But if you would like to read more, you can go ahead and go into the link in the description, and I have an entire page describing more in depth about some of the creatures you'll find there, the creepy nature of it. I believe I put some folklore into this a little bit as well. Yeah, some creepiness into there as well, if that's what you're into. But that was this prompt for July 1st. And I hope you'll, well, I'm going to say come again tomorrow, but in actuality, the video should be up in a few minutes, so you can watch it the next video. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye!